I'm Heather from Here Booktubes, and today is my Pnrreadathon TBR. PNR Thanks for that, people. So I was ruthlessly bullied into doing this readathon, mainly by people posting that it existed. I mean, honestly, it was just overwhelming. So our hosts are Jess from Peace Love Books, Lacey from Lacey Book Lovers, Lisa from Remarkably Lisa, Charles from Books on Stereo, Desiree from Genki Reader, and Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life. Funny story about Genki Reader is Genki, and when Lacey mentioned her, I thought she said Kinky Reader. I was like, oh man, that is right up my alley. I'm gonna check that out. Turns out I just have a dirty mind. But her channel was still awesome, and I actually follow all of them on YouTube and on Instagram. I already did before the readathon started, and I really love all of their channels, all of their feeds, so they're well worth your follow. It's not a requirement for the readathon or anything, but honestly, they are good stuff. So this readathon is going from October 30th to November 6th, and we do have another paranormal romance readathon, the Love in the Night readathon, which is happening from November 8th to the 14th. So there's a one-day break between the readathons, and Crystal is hosting both of them like a psychopath. But we love her, it's fine. So anyways, I did double up on a lot of the prompts so that I can read other things besides paranormal romance, so that hopefully I can actually complete my TBR and not get burned out with 2 weeks of kind of dictated reading, which I don't do well with. So to start out, we have the novella and the vampire prompt. I'm doubling up. I'm going to read Summer's Destiny by Ariel Marie. This is recommended by Bree Hill on Instagram. She has the Falling for Romance Instagram. She said it was great. It was free on Kindle, so I snapped it up and saved it for this readathon. So vampires are no longer ruling the world. They're actually now the hunted, and she escapes a vampire massacre, and she ends up finding her fated mate, who is the king of the vampires, and she's like trying to convince him that vampires can be greatness again. Almost said the dreaded phrase. I don't really know exactly. I think it's short, like only 50 pages. But Bree said it was great, so we're gonna try it. Next, for Fated Mates, I'm going to read Lord's Fall, which is Elder Races number 5 by Thea Harrison. This is only like 120 pages. I think it's significantly shorter than the other books. We follow the first couple, so that is the dragon shifter, who's the most powerful shifter in the world, and the head of all the shifters, the weird, and then a unknown paranormal half-human who is our main character, and they are fated mates, and he finds her after she successfully steals from his hoard, and he can't believe it. And now we're following them, and they kind of have divided loyalties, and they are on separate paths, but I don't think they're going to have like marriage issues or anything. I think it's just they're not really together for this book. They're doing their own things, and I'm curious to see what happens. I've actually put it off for a while because I was worried about it, but I think it's going to be good. Next, I'm tripling up an indie author, LGBTQIA+, and has an animal, and for this I'm going to read Regally Bitten, which is Blood Alliance number 3 by Lexi C. Foss. This is available on Kindle Unlimited, and I love this series. The first 2 books are a vampire love interest with a human, and then this one is werewolves. And we have a dystopian society, vampires and werewolves rule, and humans are nothing but food, basically. And in the second book, we meet 3 humans. One is the main character of the second book, one is the main character of this book, and one is the main character of the next book. And the one for this one, he's the only guy, and he is the human that won the games and is going to be the only one turned into a werewolf for this decade or year or whatever this cycle is. I can't remember. So he won the games and has been turned into a werewolf and is kind of being relegated to a low-level werewolf. And he's like, I don't think so. I didn't claw my way up for this. And it's his romance with the male alpha of his pack and the alpha female of another pack that was given in marriage to the alpha male. And it's all 3 of them together, a throuple. And I've heard that's even more brutal than the vampire ones, which is why I've put it off for so long, because the vampire ones are pretty brutal. Not gonna lie, it is like Predator Paranormals. But I've heard that it's so good, and I just want to read it, and I'm so ready. Next, for Angel Romance, I'm going to read Court of Command, which is Age of Angels book number 1 by Milana Jax. Milana Jax has some Omegaverse alien books that I've read the crud out of. And she's smutty and over the top and crazy storylines, and I can't wait to see what she does with the Angel Romance. I was actually looking for an Angel Romance for the readathon, saw that she had this new book, and I was like, yes, that's what I'm picking up. So I'm mainly reading it because of who wrote it. All I really know is that she remembers before angels fell, so he's supposed to kill her, and instead he keeps her. That's all I need to know. Again, I'm reading it because of who wrote it. I think it's going to be smutty and over the top and short, and I'm super excited for it. Oh, and it's also available on Kindle Unlimited. Next, we have Dark in the title, and for this I'm going to read Embers, which is number 4 in the Dark in You series by Suzanne Wright. Suzanne Wright and Lexi Foss are my 2 favorite paranormal authors. This is a demon and demon fated mates urban fantasy series, and Harper is our main character, and Nox is the most powerful demon in the world, and he's her fated mate, and they also have psychic anchors, which aren't the same thing as fated mates, and she is a little bit not like other girls, but honestly, I like her, so I don't care. And in the first 3 books, she's managed to get kidnapped in every single book. So I'm hoping that we avoid that in this one. This is the last book about this couple, and the series continues following some other couples, and I just want to see what happens. Next is a book published before 2010. I'm probably going to skip this one, honestly. If for some reason, mood-wise, I am in the mood to pick up something, it will be an Immortals After Dark book. Specifically, this one, whatever this one is. So I've only read 1 book in the series. I know it's a booktube darling, but I tend to read simpler books, I guess, quicker, fast-paced, not as much plot. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But if I were gonna read one, it would be this. And then there is the group book, which is The Power of Hate, and I'm honestly going to skip this too, mainly because this book was already on my radar, and I already was like, I don't think I'm gonna read it. So the readathon isn't enough to convince me. However, I do know some people, Melissa from She's an Open Book, really enjoyed this first book, and I don't have a problem with spoilers, so I'll still be following it, what everybody thinks about it. That's all the books I'm reading for the readathon. Are you participating? Probably. If you're watching this video, you are, but let me know. Give me any paranormal recommendations you might have. It's a great genre. It's a whole mood. When you're in the mood, you reach for it. So let me know anything that you've loved. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.